breaking down the change process. Change your day, not your life. When I was in graduate school, I was broke. Not a little short, but downright broke. Many days I scrounged under the cushions of my couch to try to come up with 79 cents to buy a bean burrito for lunch. Then one day a friend told me that he was making money as a substitute teacher. The light came on. Easy money. On my first day as a substitute teacher in elementary, school principal assigned me to a physical education class. I thought it was nice of the principal to give me an easy assignment on my first day out. Little did I know she was feeding me to the lions. The first thing an elementary PE teacher must do is have the students sit in a row on the baseline of a gym floor. As a group of kindergartners burst into the gym, I looked into one child's eyes and saw the odd combination of happiness and desperation that I had come to associate with someone who had been up all night drinking Turkish coffee. I asked the students in a calm and inviting tone to sit on the baseline. I even added, "Please." They not only ignored me, but began to run around the gym in a faster and more chaotic pattern. I added a little volume. Okay, I need everyone to sit on the line. Nothing happened. Finally, I yelled, "On the line, now." 2 sweet little girls sat down on the line, but the other 21 children organized themselves to run in a circle around me, laughing as they ran. I'll spare you the next 10 minutes of my frustration. The only thing that seemed to work was when I picked out one child, caught him, and sat him down on the line, and watched for a few seconds to ensure he did not get up. Then I grabbed another child, sat her down, and waited to ensure she stayed put, checked on the previous child, and then grabbed a third child. I didn't know what else to do. So I grabbed a fourth child, determined to get all 23 children seated on the line, even if it took the full 30 minutes of gym class. And then something interesting happened around the fifth child. It was as if chaos noticed a pattern developing. I kid you not, the rest of the children started sitting down on their own. It took me 10 minutes to get the first 3 students seated. All the while, a vein seemed about ready to burst in my head from high blood pressure. But then, it only took 3 minutes to get the rest of the class organized. Not only did the feeling of pressure leave my brain, but I smiled. I was motivated and energized to finish the time period with a rousing activity the children loved. I went home from that first day of substitute teaching absolutely exhausted. I was so tired I did something I have never done before or since. I fell asleep while sitting at a stoplight. I also learned 2 great lessons that day. 1, I learned that if I could conquer the chaos generated by a group of kindergartners, I could conquer any other type of chaos that might emerge in my life. 2, I learned that to get control of both chaos and complexity, the key is to focus on one thing at a time, one child at a time, one behavior at a time, and one day at a time. Core concept. Pick one. Resist the urge to change your whole life. Pick one change you desire for your day. Make it a realistic goal, and then pursue it until you tackle it and hold it down. Don't take on more than you can tackle and hold down. Too many changes are counterproductive. Take on what you can take on, and then add a change only as you are ready to add one. Focus on just one change. The number one New Year's resolution across decades and across the United States is lose weight. People think this is a singular change. It is not. To lose weight, a person will likely need to eat healthier, eat smaller quantities, and become more physically active. That's 3 changes, not one. Focus on one of the 3. If you choose eat healthier, you are still facing a change that has multiple facets. Eating healthier doesn't mean eating more lettuce and less grease. That may be one part of eating healthier, but a healthier eating pattern is likely to have many facets to it, such as drink more pure water and less of other beverages. Eat 5 to 6 small meals a day and make sure to have a bit of protein at each one. Eliminate most refined sugars, which can be found in processed foods, iced tea, and even salad dressings. Know the many terms for sugar that appear on processed food labels. Don't buy products with trans fats or partially hydrogenated fats listed among the ingredients. Read labels. Eat 5 servings of fresh fruits a day. Eat 5 servings of vegetables a day. The list goes on. Even in reading these 7 specific aspects of healthier eating, you may feel yourself clenching. That's a lot of change. That's difficult. After a few days, you are likely to conclude, this is too hard, and revert back to whatever old eating habits you have had in place for years, even decades. Consider, instead, what might happen if a person sets a New Year's resolution of drink a full glass of ice water every time I feel hungry. This is easy to do because you have a trigger and a positive pattern. Trigger, you feel hungry. Pattern, drink a glass of cold water. This trigger/pattern approach to change is very effective. It capitalizes on simplicity, cues, and behavioral momentum, gives a sense of accomplishment and increasing confidence, and can easily be connected to more meaningful changes. For example, this behavior makes it a lot easier to drink enough water to be healthier and maintain higher energy. One change. But, oh, the difference that change can make. What if the change is drink water only? One change. But that one change represents many changes in your health management. Drinking only water means eliminating fruit juices and sugar-laced sodas and other beverages, which can mean a significant decrease in total calorie count and a corresponding decrease in weight. If you decide your New Year's health resolution is going to be to exercise more, there are also numerous such changes required for most people. Try one change: wear walking shoes to work and carry dressier shoes in a tote bag. This one change will encourage you to do more walking around your office, to go out for a walk at noon, and perhaps even substitute part of a lunch hour for a walk. Trigger, it's lunchtime. Pattern, go for a walk. Or consider this one change: arrange to walk or cycle all or part of your way to work on Fridays. That one change has multiple benefits. Trigger, it's Friday. Pattern, ride my bike to work. I am not negating the benefit of having a big goal. I also am not negating the value of defining the ultimate outcome you want to achieve. What I am saying is that for you to implement a change that works on a daily basis, you need to break that big goal down and choose a piece that can be accomplished in a day. You need to be able to fit a goal into a daily pattern or mini-pattern that is workable and motivating at the daily level. There is a tremendous benefit in breaking down goals. Doing this makes a day seem less complex, and in checking off the accomplishment of even a very small goal, you will experience a motivating, energizing effect. Your confidence will grow. Above all, you will feel more in control of your own goals, your own time, your own impulses, and your own progress. Control is vital to the entire process of personal change. One task at a time, one change at a time, one portion of work at a time. These are small changes that fall readily into a daily schedule. I once provided research for a PBS affiliate in Arkansas on a program titled Fighting Fat. I was co-host for the show, and my job was to interview guests before a taping. The guests were overweight people having trouble with losing weight. One guest, who was 75 pounds overweight, said, "Andy, I really don't eat that much." I dug deeper and discovered that what she really meant was that she didn't eat that often. She would skip meals during the day, proudly eating only 2 meals a day, but she had her second meal at night, right before going to bed, and she consumed a massive amount of calories at that meal. That's a sure way to gain fat as fast as humanly possible. She not only needed to graze her way through 6 small meals a day, but make sure those small meals were truly small. Often a task or goal has been broken down into something of a bite-sized piece, but is not given sufficient time for the chewing and digesting of even that small task. In setting up a sequence of changes, make sure that small tasks are given sufficient time, and that whenever possible, a string of small tasks are sequenced so you can build some momentum in doing them. Anticipate the stages of change. There seem to be several stages for all types of change, including changing your day. If you are aware of them at the outset, you are likely to be able to persevere through them. Stage 1. Make a quality decision to change. Put emphasis on the word quality. Change should never be approached casually or half-heartedly. If a change is important to make, it should be given the mental importance it deserves. Committing to a new change is fast and often too easy. Being committed is a different story. The time required. For stage 1, usually less than a minute. Stage 2. You begin to make the change and feel clunky and awkward. You face resistance, usually not from yourself alone, but sometimes from others. The thought of quitting buzzes around your head like a fly, taunting, "This isn't going to work." At times, that fly seems to sail into your mouth and you swallow it, choking and truly irritated. What to do? Spit out the fly and keep going. At some point in this stage, unpredictable in time but predictable in that it will happen, you will begin to think this might just work. These positive thoughts tend to increase in intensity and frequency. At that point, you feel a determination to endure, to continue with whatever effort is required. The time required for Stage 2, usually between 3 days and 3 weeks. Stage 3. You keep plugging away, and much of the time, you feel strong motivation and confidence related to your path and your progress. Interruptions can still occur, and they can be highly disruptive, but if you work through the interruptions and return to the pattern you are establishing, you can will grow stronger in your resolve and in your execution of the pattern. The time required for Stage 3, 3 days to 3 months. Did you ever watch an episode of a television show called Super Annie? Jo, a trained nanny, takes the most obnoxious children and turns them into models of self-discipline. How did she do this? In essence, she helped the parents and children change their day by creating a consistent daily schedule and made them stick with it until it stuck. When these children were first forced to abide by Jo's rules and schedule, they acted like wild stallions put into a fenced area. They bashed against the walls, yelled, leaped about in pure rage, and threw terrible tantrums. But after a while, the rules and structure gave them a sense of comfort. So much so that they willingly kept the rules and schedule, and even grew to want the rules and schedule to stay in place. Be aware that the new changes you are seeking to implement in your day may be confining and demanding at first. Your old habits may rear up like wild stallions. Stick with your plan. Keep at it. Be firm with yourself. You'll find it easier as you stay consistent to the point where you truly come to enjoy the process and take great joy in the rewards. Stage 4. In this stage, you become consistent enough in your pattern that you start finding ways to integrate and adapt your new change to other segments of your day and other areas of your life as a whole. You willingly are doing what you believe you should do, and you become strong in countering those who try to stop you or discourage you from living out your new change. Psychologists call this phase orgasmic integration, and yes, it does feel good. Maybe not that good, but still really good. The good news is that you can experience it in public without getting arrested. The time required to experience Stage 4, 3 weeks to 66 days. The commonly held belief that it takes 21 days to form a habit has come under fire from researchers recently. The new estimate is closer to 66 days. This could be discouraging, but let me let you in on a little secret. You can't get to 66 days without getting through this day. Getting through today with positive momentum leads to tomorrow being a bit better, and soon you'll look up and it's past 66 days and you are miles down the road toward your goal with the winds of change at your back, thinking, of course I'm doing this, it feels awesome. Even so, I think the 21 or 66-day estimates are a bit misleading. Sure, full integration happens pretty far down the path, but I've seen people achieve or recapture a highly motivated and optimistic state as quickly as in 10 days, and sometimes even faster. It just might take a bit longer for it to be orgasmic. Of course, it depends on the action you are implementing and how strong the triggers are. I've seen exercise, when done right, swing someone's motivation to where their want increase significantly in as few as 3 days. I worked with one client who was having trouble leaving work at work and was often thinking of her work during her personal time, and it was making her more anxious and less present with her significant other. I helped her build a habit of journaling into her day. We worked through the basic way to journal and the time that might be optimal for her to journal during a given day. Her trigger was 5 p.m. The pattern was to pull out her journal and outline her top 3 tasks for tomorrow. She was surprised at how effective this Was it helping her leave her worry about work at work? After, one day, she was hooked and felt highly motivated to journal. The next day, she is still journaling daily after 8.5 years. It is such a built-in part of her day that she no longer even puts it on a list of things to do. It is as natural to her as brushing her teeth or putting on lipstick in the morning. I've seen people learn to love Brussels sprouts and, well, I've never met anyone who learned to love Brussels sprouts. Tolerate, perhaps. Those things are nasty. The point is that many people who are making changes in their day find that they feel motivated after only a few days of initiating a new pattern in their life. Remember, motivation is an experiential lesson. Full integration of a change may take several weeks, but I've seen some people gain or recapture a high level of motivation and optimism in as little as 3 days, and I've seen a few people change even faster. The degree to which you progress to high motivation and high energy is going to depend upon the nature of the change you are seeking to implement, the number of changes you are seeking to put into a new pattern in a day, and the strength of the triggers that initiate change behaviors. 2 caveats are worth highlighting. 1. Most of the time, a person doesn't move through these for stages in a smooth, tight, predictable, or linear fashion. Change of any type is a bit messier than some researchers want to admit. You may jump back and forth between 2 stages or skip a stage entirely. If that happens, it's okay. 2. No matter what you choose to change, you will find that the most important day in the change process is today. Stay focused in the day and face tomorrow. To change your day, pick one thing you want to change, just one thing, and chase that change until you have fully integrated it into your life.